Today, this Monday, marks Special Counsel David Weiss's first full week on the job after Merrick Garland tapped him to lead the investigation into Hunter Biden suddenly on Friday.
Yeah, he's got a few new powers, same job, same focus. Hunter's lawyer says he's ready to cooperate, but critics are already raising questions about whether Weiss has let some possible charges lapse.
And Peter Doocy is live at the White House with the latest for us. Peter?
And the special counsel's scope may wind up being a lot bigger than just some tax charges and a gun charge. But Hunter's lawyers are now out on TV saying maybe the scope won't be.
I'm confident that if this prosecutor does what has been done for the last 5 years, look at the facts, the evidence, and the law, then the only conclusion can be what the conclusion was on July 26th. It's new evidence. There's no new evidence to be found.
The Biden lawyers are also saying Hunter Biden is still going to stick to the plea deal, the one they agreed to but fell apart. Here is a filing from last night. The defendant intends to abide by the terms of the diversion agreement and concurs with the statements of the government made during the July 26th hearing, and which the government then acknowledged in its filings, agreeing to the public disclosure of the plea and diversion agreements. Republicans had been calling for a special counsel, including some who wanted David Weiss to be the special counsel. And now that he is, they're upset knowing that he signed off on the plea deal that included broad immunity from undiscovered crimes for Hunter.
The concern here, obviously, with Barr being special counsel, Weiss being special counsel, is that he was the one that allowed the statute of limitations to expire on some very critical felony charges that could have been brought against Hunter Biden. There's some question as to whether or not it's prosecutorial misconduct, but it certainly could be.
Hunter's dad, the president, hasn't said anything about this since the announcement on Friday afternoon. We may not get any response from him until Friday when there is a trilateral press conference with some visiting dignitaries. But 2024 might be complicated because this is now unprecedented. There is a father and son that both have special counsels investigating them.
That's right. Hey, Peter, have you heard anything from Robert Hur and his investigation by the Corvette and everything like that into the documents case? Have they given any statements?
No. And there was a report on Friday that President Biden's personal attorneys are trying to negotiate the terms of an interview with her about the classified documents. So it does not seem like that one is close to wrapping up, but they are completely quiet.
Yeah, they are quiet. And in fact, Joe Biden was asked by a Bloomberg reporter about to comment on the Maui fires. Extraordinarily, he said no comment, which is just kind of weird.
Totally unacceptable.
And he's been seen on the beach in Delaware, and we have Hawaii that is just charred.
Yeah.
How could you have no comment?
Well, right. And the thing that is unusual about that is usually if he doesn't want to answer a question, he just says nothing. When you say no comment, that's like what you say when we are asking about something that he really doesn't want to talk about. Like, for example, later on today, when he comes back, if we shout to him about the special counsel, I would expect to hear no comment. When it's something about Americans dying, that is an unusual answer.
Do you think he doesn't know? Is there a chance he doesn't know?
They said that the FEMA administrator has been briefing him while he's been at the beach, so I think he knows. But that is not what we usually get from this president.
And Peter, for years, you have been the only reporter, TV reporter, who's asked the then vice president and now president about Hunter Biden. Given the fact that there's a special counsel looking into Hunter Biden, it's hard for the mainstream media to avoid this story now.
Yeah, and it's going to be something potentially that involves reporters covering the White House beat, because we don't know. There are Republicans in Congress who claim that there is this evidence that links Joe Biden directly to these crimes that Hunter is accused of committing. If it seems like their power may now be limited by the special counsel investigating, so if that's true, then a special counsel would figure it out, and it would become a White House story.
And speaking of White House story, there are a lot of circulating rumors that Hunter Biden actually lives at the White House, which makes it really crazy.
We see him here a lot.
Right.
Very diplomatic.
Does not have a job.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.